Good afternoon. It's Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys. All right, I've got several emails. A couple of these are from London, a gentleman named Charles, and he wanted me to make a quick video on this because he's been searching like crazy for parts and different things. He is working on machines similar to the ones I have. These are the reel-to-reel EIAJ machines and others. So this goes out to Charles. Now, Charles, you know these machines came out in the late '69 or late or just around 1967, actually. The Skipfield and then the EIAJs came out in '69, and there's other machines as well. Especially this concerns the Sony models only. So if you have Sony models like this, all right. Not as much as the Panasonic, because Panasonic got smart and they used better design parts for their machines. But the Sony units, they did not. They stuck with the same crappy parts that were very inferior and problematic on all the machines. The 5000, 5008, 3600, 3650, 8600, and the 8650. All these machines have the exact same parts and problems because of the crappy design and cheap design of Sony at this time. Now, what I'm talking about is Sony had some very, very cheap parts. This applies to the reel-to-reel audio machines as well. And what I'm talking about is these trimmers. These are potentiometer trimmers. What you do is they're on a lot of the adjacent boards that sets up the circuit when you use a scope. So you can get the machine scoped up and get the signals proper. You have to adjust these trimmers. And you can see these brown jobbers I got my finger on. These are real crap. Sometimes they have values that are super high. Sometimes they have no value at all. They're just plain garbage. Now, these are also on all the models of the EIAJs, and even on some of the offshoot machines had these same type of trimmers. But the Panasonic, they designed their trimmers and they used a much higher grade trimmer. But the Sony models did not do that. Now, this is going to affect any machine you have. Color playback, playback at all, noise in your video, your picture of your video will be very noisy. You name it. It just goes on and on and on. These trimmers are a really big problem on these machines. So, this goes out to Charles. Now, Charles, I believe you have a similar machine like this on your table or your bench. And you're asking me, he's like, I've been trying to find these trimmers that he's been seeing in my videos. He's been trying to find these exact same trimmers. And like I said, they're very hard to find. I mean, I got these trimmers here by Burns. These things are absolutely fantastic. But I found these over a year or 2 years ago and stocked up a little bit on these. And I have not been able to find this design since. They're very hard to get. They were also used in the IVC machines. If you can see right here with my finger, they also use the same trimmers because they're such high quality trimmers. So I'm refabricating my machines with the ones that I have in the areas that I know they need to be changed and replacing these crappy trimmers with some high-end ones so I can get these machines locked and synced and color alignments and everything else and get playback perfect on my machines. So we don't do anything half-ass here at Obsolete Video Services, guys. You know, I know every problem there is with these machines, and I even improve on my machines all the time because I figure out the issues with the machines. And the biggest issue with these machines are these trimmers. These trimmers are the biggest piece of shit, and Sony made it for all their models. They're just garbage. So, this goes out to Charles. As you can see, I got my trimmers on my table. These are the ones that I have. This is my stock, and it took a while to find these. But I got quite a few of these. And I've got several machines that I need all these for. If I did have any bulk extras, I would sell you some. But I really do not have any extras. I mean, I'm lucky I even found these, and that was like 2 years ago. Now, he also pointed out there are also similar trimmers like these. Can I use any of those to replace them? And the answer to that is no. They're garbage. Here's a whole box of trimmers that I got. And they're very similar to those brown pieces of crap. And they're made by Fillmore. And of course, as you can see, they look very similar in the box and everything else, and the proper values and all that crap. But I did check these with a meter and a scope, and they're pretty freaking noisy. They got a lot of noise to them. So I bought a lot of stock. I wouldn't necessarily use these in video machines. I would probably use these in some other stuff, maybe audio or something like that, where the tolerances don't have to be super, super clean. But in video, you really have to have some really top-of-the-line trimmers in your modulation board and color board to get the best color playback possible. And this machine, especially this machine, everything is wrong with this machine. I had to completely fix. There's a ton of problems with this deck. I fixed everything on it. And the last thing I had to do just to get it up and running was to fix the potentiometers, which you can see I changed out the main ones that produce color playback on this machine. And this machine here was the biggest piece of crap ever made, but I configured my machine with high quality parts to now produce color and black and white playback. So this particular machine really suffers from that problem, but I got around all that. And same thing with the Panasonics, but their parts are a little bit more higher quality. But if you have a Sony AV8650, this is a major problem on those boards as well. But they also switched over to some better ones on other boards on that machine. So when it comes to reel-to-reel video repairs, one of the biggest problems these machines suffer from is potentiometer trimmers. Biggest pieces of crap ever. I mean, literally. So we got around that with the super high grade Burns trimmers. These things are spec'd to the mark. You check them with a meter and check the value, and they're dead on. These are really, and plus the noise level on these are virtually nothing. These are really, really good trimmers, but they're very, very hard to find. So I hope that answers your question, Tony. You really need to find these trimmers. These trimmers are God. They really are. They're gold-plated contacts on the bottom, but they have a super high-quality disc, carbon disc inside, encased in plastic, so you can make your adjustments. This is the only ones I'll ever use ever again. And yes, I stumbled upon this correction or the solution about 4 or 5 months ago when I gave it a try and realized that the high quality trimmers are the major solution to these machines for the best video and color and black and white playback. So I hope you enjoyed this video.